Hi, I'm Kathleen Dean, and I'm here at the Fort Lauderdale Historical Society at the New River Inn. We're here for the Highwaymen exhibit. Come on in. Who are the Highwaymen?
Okay, the Highwaymen were a group of artists, and they were black kids, to be honest. I'll put everything in perspective for you. 18, 19, early 20s. My dad died at 29. Well, my dad was about 15. And his art teacher noticed he had promise, so she took him to meet a famous white artist. And this artist gave my dad lessons at age 15. So he learned from this artist, and this artist painted much slower. So he was like, I'm not going to take a week to paint a painting, and I can't get paid for it. So what I'll do is, instead of me getting $150 for one painting that took me a week to paint it, I'll paint 10, I'll paint 20, and I'll sell them for $20 a piece, and I'll still make the same amount of money. And he inadvertently created a style of painting called Highwaymen, and he just had them in his head, and he would set up boards along the wall and put up paintings around these boards and mix paints in big piles, and he'd paint all the blue at once and paint all the green at once, but he'd paint different scenes. Each one would be a different size and a different scene. And what he did to keep the value down was he framed them in crown molding. That's just regular construction crown molding, and they would make those by hand and cut them and make them, and it's painted on Upson board. It's a material used back then almost like drywall, and he did that to keep the price down so he can go around and he can sell it for $20 and still make a profit.
And they're all oil?
Yes, they're all oil.
And, most people that built a house in the 60s built a Florida ranch style house, 60s architecture, and it's not on the ocean like they might have thought it was going to be when they bought their house or the property sight unseen, but they come here and they buy one of these paintings, still glistening, the oil's still fresh, and put it on their living room wall, and it's a picture window into that paradise. It was a perfect formula, and they sold like hotcakes, and like hotcakes, they were priced affordably. And these young African Americans who seemed to be coming from Fort Pierce, destined to be working in the citrus groves, instead left the visual legacy of modern Florida.
So if you wanted something nice on your wall, you needed a painting, and paintings were about $150, $200. So if he went to a hotel or a doctor's office with many walls, sometimes hotels 30 rooms, they don't have any paintings in them, and they definitely don't want the customers taking them. So here's this guy coming along, and he has these paintings for $20, $25 a piece, and the guy running the hotel was like, I take them all, bring me more. His number one salesman was Al Black. Me and Al were very good friends, and Al can remember bringing him, $500, $600 in a day. Because you got to think, my dad's paying 10, 20 of these paintings, and they're selling for $25, $35, $40 a piece, and he's paying that many in a day, and that's at a time when the average black person was going out in the field and making like $35, $40 for a whole week. These artists were not formally trained, so what you walk away with is just raw emotion. They paint it real fast, real loose, raw emotion.
Outsider art as a whole sort of took off. At the same time I was starting to promote Purvis Young. The Highwaymen would also visit the gallery in season. In the whole outsider art genre, including what you see behind me, which is some of the self-taught artists beyond those that were known but were coming up through the ranks, we would sell at the gallery. It's likely or possible that through this project we could have studios on site on a weekly basis. After school, students could come here and paint, because we are working with Dillard's Visual Arts AP, Advanced Placement Magnet Program, to develop their skills from who you've also interviewed tonight, Kelvin Hare, who's essentially worked very hard and been taught by some of the best, but he didn't go to art school. So these young, wonderful kids coming through public school are now receiving sort of a full circle effect from a self-taught artist on how to make it in the art field. So for me, it's kind of fun and fascinating. So the project's taken some different trajectories, and we're pretty excited about that. If you're interested in participating or assisting, volunteering, please contact me.
Thank you for tuning in. We are signing off from the Fort Lauderdale Historical Society.